business stuff. There will be, well, there are currently 20. There will be about 40 end users who use the final application. I don't know about the size of the system. I couldn't find that out. And there are 6 people who use the language I'm going to show you in a second. And there are 1.5 language developers. He said he counts as 1.5. So it's a rather small system, but I'll get into bigger systems in a moment. So here you can perhaps read, if you're in the first 2 rows, that this is a language that has things like commands, and of course it's German. And you can have local variables, you can have settings, declarative specifications of how this command works in an enterprise transactional system. You can have pages. Pages are essentially UIs that are then generated from these things. Zooming in a little bit, you can see that you have processes as first-class entities. These processes have various trigger events, and then you run into other processes. So what you can see is there is a language that doesn't look like a classical programming language. But if you zoom a little further in, you can see that there is something that looks vaguely like Java, right? If blah, blah, blah equals 0, that's kind of Java. But there is an embedded SQL. So that's one of these examples I talked about language composition. So that he had a language for database stuff, and he integrated that into Java. And of course, as you can see, it's colorful, right? So you get IDE support for the embedded language in your program. You get code completion, all of that. And this gives you, if you will, as a technical person, as a person who builds applications with these languages, gives you a kind of more productive environment than if you were programming Java straight, right? You can directly access these business entities. And again, this is, I should have shown that in the beginning. This is what's generated, right? A typical UI database form-oriented application. So the stuff he's building looks like a little bit like 4GLs, right? The stuff that we did 20 years ago and failed.